dad was not happy because 100K is still 100K. Let's not get it twisted.
Bro, that's the most expensive prank call I think ever.
That went from a prank to the pockets. What is going on, Think RBA fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Think RBA podcast. As always, boy Ken with me, my man Hak. Sir, why don't you give us a rundown for this week's episode?
Sir, 100 men or a gorilla? This seems to be what everyone's talking about.
I'm here for it,
and I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Talk a little about Falcon. Talk about Falcon Frenzy, but we'll talk about Falcon fines, the repercussions potentially. Pops steps down by stepping up. Talk about that. We got some little father player action, little fisticuffs. I don't know, some words, some verbal exchanges. Talk about that. Future for a great who was part of that little father player confrontation. Talk about the Lakers. What is going on, right? Talk a little bit about that. And Nuggets, a certain player who is like, who's sleeping throughout the season, but then wakes up when it's time to wake up. It's almost like a hibernating bear who decides, all right, it's time to feed, but it's that time of the season. And then we'll go to the RBA aura. Sounds good?
Do it.
All right, sir. So first and foremost, 100 men versus one gorilla. What say you, sir?
Oh, no. That's not how we finna do this, okay?
I'm facilitating, brother.
I don't care. I do IDGAF. I need to know what you think first. I need to hear this.
Why would I think first?
Because when I told you that this was a trending topic, you were so like, what are we talking about? Like, this is for real? Like, to the point where you didn't validate it until you said, oh, Gil's Arena even talked about this? And then it became validated for you. So like, I just, it's so fresh in your mind. Like, I've had time to think about it. It's so fresh in your mind. I need to hear your instant reaction that's not filtered by anybody else's thinking around the subject. So, sir.
So I think what validated to me was not the fact that Gil's Arena talked about it, was the fact that this was something like, it says NBC News and other news outlets and doing like scientific, like, here's a scientific outcome of this, blah, blah. I didn't have a chance to watch any of it. I haven't heard a single debate on what people have said about this. But for me, like, just based on, I'm gonna say like, just common sense. Just common sense, right? And I know that's not common anymore, but just based on common sense, 100 men versus a gorilla. Now, there's a lot of qualifying questions that came to my mind when I heard this, right? And that look right there. Because to me, it's like, all right, 100 men. What kind of 100 men? Are they just average, regular Joes that go to the office, blue collar, white collar folks? Or are they trained fighters? Do they bring something to the arena to fight this gorilla? Is it just straight, like, your bare knuckles, right? Does the gorilla have something that he or she could use? So there's a lot of like those questions that popped in my mind. So can we set the like a foundation here, or do we just go with whatever we want? Because I think with me, you probably want to set a foundation before I go way, outside the lines.
Sir, you set a foundation, whatever foundation you want to set.
Okay, so what I'm picturing is it's 100 regular folks. So regular Joes. They're not fighters. They're not trained to go fight gorillas and animals out in the field. They're not Tarzan, right? So it's just regular people like me and you. We almost got Squid Gamed, right? Put into this arena to survive. This is a survival thing.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And now we got to fight this gorilla. So that's how I approach it. I am no way ready and trained for any of this. And I think neither are you or most people watching or listening. So I'm going to go with that precedent. And with that being said, this is going to be such light work for the gorilla. This is going to be such light work that it's not even a match. Like for example, like if I was to go hit a gorilla, let's say I get a clean hit on the gorilla. Let's just say I get a clean hit, right? And he amuses me, right? And I just go and go, pop! What's going to happen is he's going to look at me, he's going to smile, and then he's going to growl, and I'm going to probably shit my pants, right? Like, he's going to recover. Now, when he hits me, there is no point of recovery. I don't recover from that, right? I don't jump back up. So when he hits any men or any number of men that he can actually grab by the leg and swing like they're freaking, white shirts, like it's just crazy, like a towel, and then take
Katie Pablo. You talking about North Carolina? Raise up.
So he can like take out 10 guys just by that.
And then when he's done, he's gonna say, "Who am I, Petey Pab, motherfucker?" My bad. I love that song.
No, that's a dope song. So like, this is gonna be such light work. And then also like the other question came up: how big is this gorilla? And then I thought about it don't matter how big this. I don't even know what that is. And I was like, you know what? It don't matter how big this gorilla is, because he's gonna beat the shit out of all of us. Because there is no point of recovery from a gorilla hit, whereas he gets to recover from any peon that hits him. So like, that's where I'm like, this is such light work. This is just easy. So that's where my initial thoughts have gone, based on those foundational principles and common sense.
Okay. So let's twist it now, because I'm with you, right? If you took 100 average men against one average gorilla, it's light work. But now, let's say you could create your own 100 men.
Okay.
Question is, one, who would they be? And two, would they be able to beat the gorilla?
Who would they be?
Like, who would they be? Like, what would your 100 men be comprised of?
Oh, so if I was to say I can now create a player, create a warrior.
Yeah.
So I can CAW, I guess. There's only one. For me, there's only one. I want 100. We are Sparta gladiators. who don't, obviously we're not allowed to bring weapons, right? Unless you want to give the gorilla weapons.
No weapons.
So these guys they're born and raised for this fight, right? And they took out, I don't know how many of those in the movie, which is based on a real story apparently, right? So they took out a whole bunch of folks that technically, so they're built warriors, right? They're raised to be warriors. They're raised for this thing. So I want 100 of those guys. I'm going to go with them, but even if I get them, I think it'd be a brutal match. Because then at the same time, then you also have to have a gorilla that's also a warrior-like gorilla. Like, you don't get a casual gorilla for that kind of fight, right? So you got to get a warrior gorilla, you got to get warriors, and then let them go at it. So now we're looking at a gorilla that's like I don't know, like the one that you see in King Kong, right? One of those crazy type gorillas. Does that gorilla win? I think that gorilla, same story though. A gorilla hit, like a human hit, you can recover from for a gorilla, but a warrior hit might be tough for you to recover from this big, huge fist coming at your face, pummeling you, or someone that just punches you in your chest and your cavity goes and your lungs are gone and now you can't breathe, or whatever the case is. I'm not going to say light work, but I still think the gorilla will fight and claw his way out, because again, a gorilla can bite, right? No one can stop that. Humans, that bite ain't doing nothing to no gorilla. So I think the gorilla still comes at him. That's me. What's your warrior look like?
I think no matter what, that gorilla is wiping the floor with anybody that we put in front of him. Point blank period. Like, I don't think folks understand in this conversation how strong gorillas are. Like, bro, I'm not going to say it would be light work just because the numbers, right? But all 100 can't hit at the same time. It's not physically possible. So that gorilla going to have to make his way through. And like you said, once he gets a hit on somebody, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be hard for enough people to get around the gorilla to get him at the same time to where he cannot execute a blow to somebody else. And it's going to be like, I don't even know how to describe it. Be like overgrown grass and a lawnmower just chopping through the table.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter. I don't even know who I put in front of him, because like, I don't think it matters.
What if you put like 100 Mike Tysons in front?
So like, Mike was in my mind, but even 100 Mike Tysons was like, that's gonna do nothing. That's light work.
Okay. Yeah. So we're both on the same page, bro. So I don't even understand how this is a conversation that's going. Like, the fact that anyone says anything different would just tell me, I don't know, like either you're uneducated, you're ignorant of the situation, or you don't understand what a gorilla really is or can do. So yeah,
I think it's the sheer number, right? Do you think you got like 100 men? Right. And yeah, collectively you may outmuscle one gorilla, but like when that gorilla gets a hand, a put anything on you, it's a wrap, bro. Like, you're done. Finished. And
Correct.
Done.
Right. So 100 men, right? Collectively, you said, are stronger. So you have 100 men, although let's just say you took a gorilla's bicep and broke it into 100 different pieces. Whereas he is all 100 of that combined into one.
And
right.
The other thing that I think that these guys are miscalculating in their assumptions, those that are choosing the 100 men, is the pure force that a gorilla can exert. Like,
right.
They don't understand, like, you think it's cute that we karate chop through some wood or some cinder blocks or whatever. Like, that's cute. Let's watch what a gorilla can karate chop through, because that shit will be wild.
Bro.
That gorilla can karate chop through us, bro. Like, it's not even a question. It's not even a question. But that was funny because I was like, I need to see what your response is to this.
But you know what? Like, you know how like every big HBO fight, like, Floyd and whoever, what fight has like a big like entrance and this grand like thing? There is only one song and there's only one piece of music and one artist that has to open this thing, and there's no other way to do this. Can you guess?
Man, it might be too late at night. I don't know where you're going with this one.
Many men
wish
that the ball, right? That is the 50 Cent. That is the only way you open this event if this thing comes through, right? Like,
that's the
50 Cent, Many Men.
Is that the Gorillaz walkout song?
That's the song.
Put some shades on him.
Right, oh hell yeah!
Many men.
Yes, and then 50 like leading the pack. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that is it. And that's what he leaves on too. A crazy conversation, but I feel like it's an easy answer. But clearly, it's not an easy answer for some folks. So whatever. Let's move on to a different type of animal, but probably not for the right reasons. Falcons. So we talked the last episode about the little prank gaff that they had. The kid thought it was funny, haha, hee hee. But every action has a equal and opposite reaction, has a consequence, and this consequence came with a price tag, a comma per se. Not per se, for real. So I wonder if his allowance is about to get hit for the next 35 years because his dad had to pay a serious fine and his team did too. Sir, what is going on? Can you tell us a little more of the details?
First of all, I'm mad that you said an equal and opposite reaction. Like, we back in like 8th grade science right now. But okay, I wasn't gonna let that one slide. But yeah, the Falcons got fined $250,000, which for them that's light work, since that's the word of the day. That's light work.
$250,000, man.
But $100,000 fine for Jeff Ulbrich, the Falcons DC. That's it's just say it's not earth-shattering. They're not going to be worried about how to put food on their table per se, but it's still a nice little chunk of his salary. I mean, I think he makes like 1.6 mil. 100K is pretty significant. Do I think that his son is going to lose that money through his, whatever, his trust fund, whatever might be set up? Nah. But I'm sure he is in the proverbial doghouse right now with the fam. I'm sure dad was not happy because 100K is still 100K. Let's not get it twisted.
Well, that's the most expensive prank call I think ever.
That went from a prank to the pockets. And I'm sure he's gonna pay, and it may not be monetarily, but he's gonna pay somehow, some way. Because I think we talked about it last time, like, especially for a D coordinator, like, bro, most of the D coordinators you see are very tough-minded, like hard-nosed, because you're trying to go out there and hit people, right? You're trying to make them fumble. You're trying to, I don't want to say end them and mean like their career or nothing, but you're trying to end them, right? You're trying to end that play in the backfield, negative yards every time. And these defensive coordinators, man, they tough. And just say, I would not want to be his son right now.
Hey, what if we say, hey, son, I'm going to run, and you don't tell him, obviously, you run a little prank on him, right? And I put him in the backfield to do some whatever.
Oof.
And here comes, a little taste of that.
Yeah.
Haha, prank. He gets scared and whatnot. Obviously, I'm not saying hit him, but just to scare him a little bit, right? Make him reconsider his actions next time something like that comes up in his life.
Have him line up and try to tackle Derrick Henry.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I hope he learned his lesson. I hope the Falcons don't have to go through something like this again, because that was not a good look. Not a good one.
They will. They always do. This is the thing. This is the thing, right? Real quick. The thing that makes it so stupid is that they recorded it, bro. Right? So while we're on the thing of, sons and bad decisions and recording things. So like my son went to a birthday party today, right? And my daughter was to a movie to watch the new Minecraft movie. Okay. My daughter wanted to go. And I was like, well, I could just like, if I went and dropped him off as a drop-off party at the theater, the parents or whatever, I was like, I could drop him off, go home, go back. Like I was like, why do all that? I'll just take her to the movie too, right? And I figure we just gonna sit off in the corner, mind my own business, let them do their thing, right? I'm not trying to be that dad. It's all, up in the sun, like go enjoy the party with your friends. My son was in the back. Okay, when I tell you that there was a row of these badass kids in the front, and throwing popcorn and threw slushies at the screen.
Oh no!
And then these kids, because they got phones recording it, so we had a whole conversation. It's the conversation that Jeff must not have had with his son, or at least it didn't get through. And I was like, if that was ever you doing that, your life will be over. It was embarrassing. Right. And then he was telling me about how they recorded it and were showing the parents. And I was just like, and I used that as an opportunity to tell my son, like, how dumb that is. Like, it's not already bad enough that you did it in the first place, which you shouldn't have, but you recorded it, and now you've got the evidence, and then you show it to other people. I said that's how Jackson Ulbrich, this kid that's how they got caught, because they decided, it'd be funny to record it and post it on social media. I worry for the future of our kids, man, because it's crazy.
Bro,
crazy.
It is crazy because, like, if you think about it, every social media, like, what is social media, right? Social media is basically everyone's platform to say, "Oh, I exist." That's really it, right? I look at me, I exist.
Yep.
But you also get to see how employers use social media as a tool to say, "Do we want to hire this person because we want to know the real, right? Not this person that's in front of us. I want to know the real you."
Right.
So when you do stupid stuff like this, you become an idiot, right? And that's really, social media can be, it's two ways. It works both ways, right? And most people are using it in a way where when you do stuff like that, it's going to come back to harm and hurt you and then really impact your future, right? Potentially.
Play silly games, you win silly prizes.
Boom. There you go. Mic drop. Boom. All right, sir. Moving on. We have a leadership, an organizational change in the leadership of the San Antonio Spurs. Coach Pop has decided that he has he's been going through some health issues and whatnot. So he had said that he would try to make a comeback, but from what it sounds like, what has been announced, that he has decided to step down by stepping up and handing the head coaching reins over to Mitch Johnson. And so now Coach Pops will become the president of the team. And so given the reins for head coaching to a young man, from what I understand, Mitch Johnson, who's been with the organization for about 6 or so years, and and everyone has said that he was the automatic pick. They're not surprised by this selection. I've heard some really good things about him. Some players have come out and spoken highly about him. Sir, what are your thoughts on this? Where do you think this organization is going with this change?
First, I think it's important to start with Pop, right? It's one of those weird, like, I don't know if it's a congratulatory type of situation or not. I mean, is this something that's better for him? Something, wants to do? Don't quite know. But man, his impact on the game of basketball for almost 3 decades now is unmatched. I mean, when you really think about it, there's a small group of coaches that are in that top tier. And of course, he's there with them. And it wasn't just winning the championships. Some of it is the work that they did to really uncover those hidden gems in Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, and Boris Diaw and others, right? The international Spurs, as they called them. But then being able to put together championship teams, his ability to coach players hard and institute the NBA's version of the Patriots way in San Antonio, right? You didn't hear a lot of scandals coming out of San Antonio, though there were a few, but certainly not as much as some other teams. They run a pretty tight ship. So I just want to give him his flowers for the impacts that he's had, not just this game, but You think about, like, look at how he positioned Becky Hammond, for example, right? I mean, he has this whole tree of coaches that have all gone on to be successful and do things in the league. He's had players that have gone on to win championships and be championship pieces because they learned how to be a champion under him. So flowers to him. I'm glad he's still going to be there with the Spurs. They're going to continue to build the organization the way that they've been building the organization. You know, the coach. My thing for the coach moving forward is that I hope we don't see what happened with the Patriots happen to them. And what I mean by that is when Bill Belichick left, which a lot of people compare Bill Belichick and Pop, right? In terms of one was the NFL's version and the other's the NBA's version, right? But they were compared often because of their greatness. The Patriots, you know, when Bill finally stepped down, or when they finally parted ways, rather, the Patriots had their succession plan in Gerard Mayo. Pops, okay, he steps up. We have our succession plan. He's been in the organization for years. Gerard Mayo lasted a year, got fired. They bring in Vrabel, who also was part of the Belichick tree. So I just hope for Mitch Johnson that he sees more success than his NFL counterpart did, because they were very, very quick to announce that, right? They didn't do a full coaching search and all of that. It was like, no, we already got our guy in house, and that doesn't always work out well. So I just hope for his sake that it does. But man, the one thing that I'll miss, and I don't know if we'll get to get it in another capacity, is hearing some of the Pop's answers to question, right? Where he'd give these really deep, thoughtful answers, and he'd either make you think or provoke you to think, right? Like he would provoke you to an emotion, right? Whether you agreed with him and you loved him, whether you didn't agree, like he would provoke you to it because he had conviction in what he said, and he didn't give a shit what you thought about it, right? Which is a great point to be at in life, you know what I mean? So that's my thought.
No, I second all that, brother, because I think he left that organization at a very beautiful place. And you know, the Spurs also coincidentally every decade end up getting a center that's gonna come in and you know, change or keep the way going. Right? It's I don't know how that happens, you know, without a little bit of a potential script writing for us.
But it's just the bounce of a ping pong ball, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. So I feel, but at the same time, the Pop's coaching tree, the way he leads the organization, that is one organization that, yes, they had their scandals, but the last scandal I can remember was the Kawhi thing, right? From way back when he was trying to get out. So, and that's been what, over a decade, right? That's the last time I can remember anything coming out of that organization. So they run a very tight ship. They're very much about secrecy. And yes, Pop was a military man, or potentially he was being, you know, some spy apparently, who knows, but the man knows how to use his words, how to use his actions, and the way he maneuvered, and one thing I loved about him, right, one of my most favorite things about him was he was not scared to make an example out of your best player, right? So a lot of, like, some coaches don't do that. He did that. Like, he would go at Tim Duncan full-fledged in front of everyone, right? Because if I can go at him, and that's a lot of players said it in different interviews. Like, when we saw that, we knew he could go at us. We can go at him, he can go at us. So I love how he set that, you know, like that standard that we're all equal here. Everyone's got a role. We all got to step up when it's time to step up. The one thing, like you said, about not missing like some of those answers, I'm also going to miss his 1-word answers or his 3-word answers, which are very sarcastic to some of the more nonsense questions that reporters ask. So I'm gonna miss that part of it too, right? Because those are funny as well. But other than that, I hope he's able to. I like the fact that he's at the helm of the ship now, right? He's at the president level, so he obviously, like, he was controlling a lot earlier as well, but now he gets to do it from the back end, and he won't have the stress, right, of the game on the line, drawing a play out, blah 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 blah. That part he won't have. And what I heard about Mitch, DeJounte Murray came out, right, and he said something. He told us a little story about him. How Mitch, basically, when DeJounte was going through, like, you know, his troubled times when he was younger with juvenile and whatever the case was, he came and bailed him out. Mitch bailed DeJounte out, and he told him that we're in this together, right? We put all this work in you. We're gonna see where it's gonna go. Like, we're not just gonna leave you out like that. And he stuck with him, and you know, look where we are now, right? He became what he became. So that told me, like, this dude has character, right? Like, he's a stand-up guy. He rides with you. He's just not gonna, like, throw you under the bus. So I really like hearing that about him. So and I'm a big believer in karma, right? So what you put out is what you're going to get back. So this could be that karmic effect where he gets the opportunity to now lead this organization with a generational player who can potentially become a GOAT one day. So I do hope he also sees a lot of success and doesn't. So I don't know a whole lot about the Patriots, what their coach was like. The second came in, but I hope he also his dad won the chip back in the day in '79 apparently. So I hope he sees the same level of success as Pop, if not better. That's me. So we good to move on?
Sure.
All right. So now a little bit on the flip side of that, we had a star and another star's dad go at it in the playoffs to the point where the other star's dad has been banned from attending any more future playoff games because their team won. So it was Giannis on the Bucks. It was Giannis having a verbal spat with Tyrese Haliburton's dad, and they went back and forth and whatnot. But now to the point where the Pacers have came out and decided that Haliburton's dad will not be going with them, is not allowed to attend any more playoff games to avoid that situation from happening again. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
My thought is that if the Pacers go deep, it might be one awkward Father's Day coming up here in June. I'm just saying,
right.
I mean, so one, clearly everybody knew he was in the wrong. I mean, sir, why are you even on the floor? That's my question. But, Haliburton came out immediately, press conference, everything was like, I didn't see it, heard about it. My dad was clearly in the wrong. I'm going to handle it, like, move on kind of thing. I mean, he didn't seriously say move on, but like, he's like, I'm going to handle that. And I'm sure he has some influence over that as well. That's what they're trained to do, though, right? It starts in the AAU circuit, right? It's like, dad don't like the playing time. I'm going to run on the court and tell the coach. I'm going to come and I'm exaggerating, of course, but still, it's that whole, my kid is the best, and I get it. We all want our kids to be the best, and we all want to get hyped for them. But you still gotta know where the line is, bro. And he didn't, and he crossed the line, and he knew he crossed the line, and now he's paying the price for crossing the line. The other thing I thought was that Giannis looked like, talking about 100 gorillas versus one man. Like Giannis looked like he would crush that guy. Forget. He would stand no chance if he actually went up to Giannis. And that was my thing. Is you're sitting there chirping in this dude. He had to look down on you. Bro, he looked down on your ass. I will take my hand and I will just squeeze your head and you'll be done. That's what Giannis looked. That's what Giannis looked like. So and also too, why are you fake tough guy in when you know that Giannis can't do nothing about it because everybody's watching, all the cameras are out, all the phones are recording, and so I'm gonna be big tough guy. Come on now, he would smack your ass back into the 20th row. Fuck out of here. He's paying the price now, and I hope he learned a lesson.
Hey, ditto, bro.
Oh, and please never do that with Stage, sir.
Oh, absolutely not.
I was just gonna say, because I don't want that moment to be the embarrassment of the Think RBA podcast. That, wait, I know that guy. That's Hak from the Think RBA podcast, and he running out and he argued with another player. No, sir.
So listen, this is what I say. This is the classic case. So you talked about AAU circuit, all that. This is what I call a classic case of when parents act out of pocket. Parents act out of pocket. You have got to stay in your lane. That is not your lane. You sit your ass in your seat like every other fan there. You're just another fan, all right? And enjoy the show. You may not agree with the show, but you're just another participant in the seat who's watching, right? Who's a viewer. You are a viewer in this show. You're not the star, you're not a supporting role player, you're not a cast member, you are a viewer. Like your son went to a show, right? That's what you are. You are sitting at the show in the front seat, throwing popcorn, acting stupid. The other question I have for this man is, I dare you. I want you. If you are a tough guy, meet this man outside and do this and act the same way to him. And I say that to any fan that acts up with their player. You tough guy, right? I bet. Do the same exact thing to him outside on the street when there's no camera, no one's watching. I'll watch how quickly a lot of you fold like a chair. Y'all fake tough guys, right? Like all of y'all fake. So don't even act like ooh. Stop it, right? It was, it looked like how you said Giannis looked like the girl, like the big, right? How he was massive over him. This is what LeBron looked like over Stephen A. Right?
Yes.
I can just ding, or just squeeze your little head, your little pea brain. You don't exist anymore. Bruh, right? This is also You hear a lot about Ja's dad, right? LeBron's mom did it once. He told her to sit her ass down, right?
Mhm.
As a parent, you've done your job. You raised the man now. Let this man handle man business because that's his job. Your job is over. Your job is to enjoy and watch the show. So please stay in your lane, right? Act the part and don't be an embarrassment to your child. What are you doing, right? Like, why would you put your son in that situation now where he has to explain his parents' behavior? How would you do that?
Outside. How about that?
Hey, there you go. Cash me outside. So, sir, about that, right? That's a great. I'm going to say segue because one of my coworkers would say segue. Great segue. Because my question for you is Giannis, right? Giannis, the Bucks are out, right? The Pacers beat them. Would this be Giannis's I want out moment? Or is he going to say I'm loyal? Like, what do you think is the future of Giannis's future with the Bucks?
He's going to cash me outside. How about that? They going to cash him in another uniform because he gone. He done. Oh, he gone.
He done?
No, bro.
Oh,
he done.
man.
He gone.
Where is he gone to now? Where do you see him going?
You know, they're gonna mess around and end up with the Lakers or somebody like that. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yo, stop.
I'm just saying,
stop,
like,
bro,
I'm dead, bro. Dead ass. Like,
Let's
it's gonna be something ridiculous like that. You know, maybe Minnesota. You know, so like it'll be something crazy. But no, he gone. He gone because Dame.
Wow.
Dame's gonna take another year to recover from torn Achilles. I mean, not quite
Right.
a year, but like.
Right.
So what's it? What
Yeah,
you coming back?
it's tough,
You coming back for Chris Middleton next year? I'm not.
Wow.
What? I'm just saying, is he even on the team? I don't know. Maybe he's not even on the team anymore. I don't know.
This
But still, like,
this guy, the disrespect.
but who's he coming back for, bro?
No, good question. Great
He
question.
come back for Doc?
That's a great question. You know where I'd like to see him go?
Atlanta.
I want to see him go to a young team. Like, stop. I want to see him go to a young team that's up and coming, right? There's two teams I want to see him go to, but one more than the other. I love to see him go to Detroit and team up with Cade. I think I think he can help take that team to the next level. The other team I like to see him go to is Houston. I think he can help that team go to the next level. I don't see that happening as much. But Detroit, I like that look, and I just don't see him in Orlando as another young team. But I do see him doing well in Detroit and really helping that team take that next jump that they need. Again, he'll stay on the East Coast, right, in the Eastern Division. So really helping that team make some noise. But again, do I feel like he's going? I don't know. I feel like he's loyal. But again, we know how loyalty runs nowadays. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where he goes.
He's also getting up there in age, and so he gone.
That's true.
And actually,
That's true.
The crazier one that I heard that actually makes sense for Houston is KD.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. But I'll hold any thoughts on that one.
Nope.
But I want to talk about real quick the Lakers being ousted and how Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man, and for me, I gave him a playoff name. His playoff name is Mr. Upset because he has sent another icon, another legend home, and he has built his resume. He's building his resume. He sent KD home. He sent Jokic home. He sent LeBron home, right? And these guys are known as, right, GOATs, right? KD, Bron, they're GOATs. And Jokic eventually will become one of those center GOATs. Like this guy's building his resume based on sending people home. And that too, like, think about it, I would say undermanned in essence. Because who's his help? Who's the second fiddle? Who's the second guy on that team?
Rudy Gobert.
There you go, Shaq. There you go, Shaq. Right, that's what I was thinking about. But that was only one game, right? Consistently. So I really respect the fact that this dude, he wanted all the smoke and then he backed his words up. And then he walked around talking in the post-game interview he did. Right. And then he even said, like, we sent the best player home. Best player in the world, we sent him home, right? So I love that confidence, that bravo, that swagger he has. And then he backs it up, though. Like, that's crazy. That's the crazy part, right? Like, if you think about the people he sent home, that's just, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah. So real quick, I want to go on to the Nuggets. Sir, Nuggets made to the second round. Game 7 against the Clippers. Clippers doing Clippers things. And the Nuggets doing Nuggets things, but without a coach. That's what's the crazy part about it. Without the original coach.
I'm pretty sure that last episode I picked the Nuggets, didn't we? Didn't I?
We did pick the Nuggets. You're right.
Did we both pick the Nuggets? I thought you picked the Clippers.
We both picked the Nuggets. Bro, listen.
Oh, okay.
I know better than to pick the Clippers in any situation. Even if they were up 5-0, I'm still picking the Nuggets.
You mean James Harden with his 7 points in Game 7?
Bro, is it time to get past the conversation that Kawhi is that kind of player? Because it's I don't know, like it's a weird conversation. Like, you know, ever since the Raptors, like, what has he done?
You mean he's not him?
I'm just putting that out there, right? Is he not him? Is he him? Like, what's the situation here? But the more important thing I want to talk about, and you're welcome to talk about, you know, that. But the more important thing I want to talk about this dude that he hibernates throughout the season, right? 82 games, I'm chilling. I'll come up here and there for air, right? When y'all need me, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the game winner here and there on AD and whatnot. But when y'all really need, that's when I wake up, right? And I say, all right, time to go to work, right? If you had an employee who sat all year long, then it came time for the most important time of the year, and he woke up and he said, all right, I'm back. I'm here. Like, would you have this confidence? All right, we good. Like, what's the deal here with Mr. Jamal Murray, who the fact that he has never been an All-Star is a travesty, but that's another conversation for another day.
So since we have a theme here of like old 2000s rap songs, you know, we had P.D. Pablo, we had 50 with Many Men. I'm going to say that Jamal's is woke up on the bed, put my swag on. Like, that's what happens to him in the playoffs, right? Because this man dropped in...
that Jeezy?
Huh? No, that's Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy, I got it, okay.
In Game 6, right? Pivotal Game 6, he dropped 43 points. Just with like one free throw, bro. Think about that. 43 points on one free throw. He shot 65% from the field, 57 from three, made 8 threes, 17 to 26. He was a sniper. But again, that's what Jamal Murray seems to do. It's like he goes quiet, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, he just comes alive in the playoffs. And it's like, is that the kind of, like, I'm trying to think, like, I'm just like scrolling through real quick. You know, he had 155 point game, 145 point game, and that's it. Everything else was, for the most part, 30 something and under, which in today's day and age is not really like, we don't start celebrating until you get a 40 burger. But again, here we go. Jamal Murray showing up. And if Jamal Murray is going to do Jamal Murray things with Jokic, with Porter, everybody else that they have, Aaron Gordon, it's going to be tough series for OKC.
Agreed. And they have the depth of the, you know, championship experience. So yes, they don't have a coach. However, they do have their own personal experience of going through that journey, knowing what it feels like, how to respond to those moments. And if Jamal Murray's firing also, you know, like, so I think of Jamal Murray as like, you know, when you're watching a movie, right? And the good guy's like, you know, he's fighting and now he's out of bullets. And then he turns around, he picks up the big guns, right? And just when you least expect it, he got this big gun. But it's not a big gun. It's actually a little gun, but it's got big power, right? It's one of those things. Like it's least like you don't expect it, but when that gun fires, though, oh boy, that's what I see him at. He's that dude. Like, it's almost like he's the ace of spades. Like, you're just want to keep this here when I need it.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, the fact that this man has never been an all-star is freaking travesty. It's asinine. It's preposterous.
He's going to be on the all-time snub team.
He is. He really is. But at the same time, man, he does what he does. So we'll see. So I think we both have OKC moving forward.
Almost will change it to the Nuggets, man. But we'll let it play out.
Okay. We'll let it play out. All right. So let's go on to the RBA aura, which is, would you like to do it, sir? Would you want me to do it? How do you want to do it?
No, go ahead. By all means, this is your moment.
Sure. This is actually the moment for a rare moment for our Knicks fan. We don't really get these moments. So we're going to give this moment to none other than the man that was awarded Clutch Player of the Year, Jalen Brunson, who in Game 6, closeout game against Detroit, 20 seconds left, 113, and they're playing in Detroit. This man being guarded up top of the key. They come with a fake screen, right? A fake switch. This man pulls a move, and now, mind you, he's got, I think, Osar Thompson, one of the twins, and them twins are big. They're big. They're tall. They're known for their defense. Jalen said, "Nah, I'm gonna show you something." made a hard drive, quick pullback, snatch back through the legs. Ausar looked like he went back to the locker room. He thought the game was over. That's how much separation Jalen Brunson created on that play, bro. Like, I want someone to do a mathematical figure showing how much separation was created with that one move, because my God, he looked like he thought the game was over. Because technically it was when that happened. But then Jalen said, let me show you why I won Clutch Player of the Year. Dribble to the three-point line, let it go, clean, wet. Game 116, 113. Yeah, Detroit had an opportunity at the end, but they bumbled it. They or as my son Ortej would like to say, they blundered their opportunity. That's his word. He loves to use the word blundered a lot. He uses that a lot with the Lakers, apparently. So, and any team that gives up leads. So that was a beautiful, beautiful play. And my God, I watched. Paige and I watched that play like multiple times on repeat. Just the fact that Jalen Brunson was not as big as these other guys are, but the way for him to create separation and how much separation he created on that play, man, that was dope. Which is on my other point about Jalen Brunson being, just because you're smaller, like skill matters. So with that, respect and much. The winner for this week's RBA Aura moment is Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks. Congratulations to the Knicks. Now you face the Boston Celtics, and we'll see where that goes. So that's what I got. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you for going on this ride with us. Remember to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And until next time, we'll see you then. All right, peace. At Think RBA.